How to become a seven-figure entrepreneur, and it isn't what you think. Let's talk about it. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jen and I am your manifestation bestie, where I teach all things law of assumption when it comes to manifesting anything and everything that you desire. If that sounds good to you, click that subscribe button. Also be sure to grab my top 7 hypnosis bundle pack, where I'm literally going to help you manifest whatever you desire while you sleep. Doesn't get any easier than that. The link is in the description box below. It's only $20 and it'll be the best gift you ever give yourself. So grab your copy like right now. Also, I am starting a brand new members only community where I'll be hosting monthly challenges, exclusive member only content, member Q&As, and over delivering with massive ass value so that you can become the boss ass bitch that you're meant to be and be manifesting on autopilot anything that you desire. So join at the members founders price. The link is also in the description box below. We'd love to have you as a part of the family for the kickoff. I'm so excited. Okay, so how to become a seven-figure entrepreneur. Hint, it's not about joining another coaching program, buying another course, watching endless YouTube videos, trying to crack the code. It's not any of that. See, the thing is it's not about working harder, okay? It's all about how you identify yourself as now, okay? The problem when you're starting a business or you're an entrepreneur, solopreneur, entrepreneur, whatever fucking preneur you want to call yourself, the problem with that is I hear this all the time is, well, I'm a startup. Okay, well, you're going to continue to be a startup if you identify as being a startup. Okay, you have to, if you want to become a seven-figure entrepreneur, you first have to identify yourself as being that person. Okay, you have to see yourself as being that person already, as being that seven-figure entrepreneur now, not when you become one, but now. Because the only gateway that between you, where you're at now, to 7 figures and beyond is stepping into the identity and the assumption that it's already yours. Okay, you cannot operate your business from a startup position or from a questioning, what am I doing wrong? Is this working? This isn't working. What's going on? I just need to watch more videos. I just need to learn the secrets, success hack. I just need to have a positive mindset. It's not about any of that. It's about believing that you are that seven-figure entrepreneur right now. Right now. Okay, you don't have to believe and you don't have to feel the feelings of being that person. What you need to do is identify as that person. Okay, there's a big difference here. Okay, so basically, because how can you feel the feelings and do all that stuff that people tell you to do if you don't know, if you've never been that person, right? So you don't know that about them. All you have to do is keep telling yourself who you want to become. Okay, so if you want to become a seven-figure entrepreneur, all you have to do is identify as that now and tell yourself consistently, keyword here, folks, is consistently, that you are that now, that you have that now. So you sit there and say, I have $1 million business. I have a seven-figure business right now. I have a seven-figure business right now. I have a seven-figure business right now. I make $100,000 a month right now. I make $100,000 a month right now, over and over and over again. The biggest problem in the business coaching space, and I know this because I've coached hundreds of entrepreneurs to success, okay? And the problem with other programs is that you get stuck in this whole, like, I just need another program. This isn't working. What's next? This isn't working. What's next? This isn't working. What's next? And you get stuck in this cycle of, it's not working. I need something new. I need something new. I need something new. And that's not the problem. It's not the technique that works. It's not the program that works. Okay. Because if that was the case, then they would have, every program on the planet would have 100% success rate. If the program and the techniques was what worked, then everyone who did that would get the exact same results, but they don't. That is because some people will go into something or they'll learn a strategy and they'll be like, they don't question it. They'll be like, oh, this is it. This is going to work. And they'll do it. Therefore, they get the results that align with their thoughts and assumptions and beliefs about it. Then you have most of society that will do it and be like, they'll do it for a couple times. They'll do it a couple times. It's not working. And they're like, it's not working. I need something else. Or what am I doing wrong? I don't think I'm good enough, right? Those are the thoughts that you have running on autopilot. is that there's something wrong. And so when you do that, you keep yourself in something wrong state. And because of that, nothing can go right because you're in everything is going wrong state. Okay. So if you want to get yourself out of that and put yourself in the state of having what you desire, then you have to simply start thinking as that person. What kind of thoughts would they have? Right. So the way you put yourself in that state is you say, okay, if I was to open up my bank account right now and I saw $1 million staring back at me, what kind of thoughts would I have? I'm pretty sure that you would not be thinking how the hell you're going to pay your bills this month, then that, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I'm barely making any money. Something is wrong. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't think you'd be thinking that way. Would you? No. Instead, you'd be thinking, you'd see that money and be like, oh, I have plenty of money in the bank. I could do whatever I want. Like, making money is so easy for me. That's the mentality they have. Okay. So when you look at any 7-figure entrepreneur, any millionaire, they're the only thing that makes it, because they all started where you are. They all started where you are. But the only thing that makes them different than you is their belief about it, is the fact that they created the belief that this is working. I know exactly what I'm doing. This is $1 million business. They assumed that now. So therefore, every time someone told them that was the stupidest idea ever, this isn't going to work, no, 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 it didn't bother them because they already believed that it was theirs. They already created the assumption that no, this is easy. Making money is easy. Everyone wants to work with me. I'm the best in the business. That's their mentality. So because that is their assumption, it works. Versus most people's assumption are making money is hard. You have to work hard to make money. If that's your belief and assumption, that's going to be true for you. Just like I hear when people come to me and want to work with me one-on-one, they will say, I'm just stuck at 10K months. I can't get beyond that. So we have to change that because I said, as long as you keep identifying and telling yourself that you're stuck at 10K months, you will never get beyond that because you're telling yourself consistently that you're stuck at 10K months. And so that must remain true for you. Just like if you're questioning shit all day long that you're doing in your business, you're going to get questionable ass results. Just like if you assume no one's watching your videos, no one's going to watch them. Whatever you assume to be true is going to be true. And your assumptions are only based on your most dominant thoughts. It has nothing to do. 7-figure businesses have nothing to do with man hours. So get that shit out of your mind right now. You do not have to work 14 hours a day to make $1 million. You do not. In fact, most millionaires hardly work at all. Because they've created the assumptions that making money is easy. I don't have to work a lot to make money. Which is why there's that saying where the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. That is because it all comes down to their beliefs. It all comes down to what you assume to be true. So if you want to assume that you have a 7-figure business and you want a 7-figure business, you need to first identify as that person now. What does that person think about? What do I want to assume to be true? You cannot force results. You cannot. Okay, I've tried that numerous times. It never works. In fact, it almost backfires. Okay, you can work hard all day long on your business and get nowhere because it isn't about working hard. It's about taking and controlling your thoughts, getting your thoughts in check with what it is that you want for your business, for your life, for your finances, for anything. It's getting your thoughts in check and then taking aligned action with those thoughts. So now that you have assumed the identity of a 7-figure entrepreneur, you're creating the assumption and the belief, which the only way you do that is through repetition, okay? Because everything you know is through repetition. Okay, you literally have to do something multiple times before you know how to do it. Same with your subconscious mind. It's all about repetition, the repeated thoughts that you have. So if you want to change those repeated thoughts, you have to repeat something different. Okay, you have to keep repeating something different in your mind. So you have you process 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day, and you have 2 types of thoughts you process. Okay, first is active thinking. So when you're having a conversation, when you're working on your business, when you're recording videos, all that stuff, you're actively thinking. Okay, but it's those times when you're driving in the car, taking a shower, cooking dinner, watching Netflix, right? Relaxing, that your mind starts to free roam, where you're still thinking and you're still processing thoughts. They're not controlled thoughts though. So because of that, it's usually focused on everything you don't want, everything you don't have, and your current circumstances. You can't do that. So instead, what you do is you pick 2 to 3 affirmations that imply that you have already have what it is that you want. And then you fill the dead airspace. So when you're doing mindless things, like I'll even make a grocery list when I'm going to the grocery store so I can robotically affirm through the grocery store, right? And when I'm in a car, I will literally just robotically affirm. When I'm watching Netflix, I'll robotically affirm through the entire episode on what it is that I want over and over and over again. I make $100,000 a month. I make $100,000 a month. I make $100,000 a month. I make $100,000 a month over and over and over again. When you tell yourself that enough and it starts to feel natural to you, it shows up. No more work or effort required. I have taken several clients from being stuck at 10K to over 100K in less than 60 days. They did nothing different. They did not work harder on their business. In fact, they were working less on their business and getting bigger results. Because it isn't about working hard. It is about aligning your thoughts with what it is that you expect to show up. And when you do that and you saturate your mind enough, it shows up. That is the only key to being a seven-figure entrepreneur, period. I don't give a fuck what any of these other freaking business coaches tell you. You're never going to learn this in another program, okay? They're all going to teach you how to have a growth mindset and a positive mindset. But the problem with that is you can't deposit positivity into your bank account. Can you? No. You also can't call your mortgage company and be like, you know what, I've had such a positive month, please waive my mortgage payment. No, you cannot. So it ain't about being in a high vibe all the time, because it's honestly unrealistic in the first place. It is simply about focusing on only what you want and the outcomes that you expect. Okay, we have to come from a place of expectancy, where you no longer want to grow your business, you no longer want this, you expect it. Everyone tells me yes. Everyone wants to work with me. I'm the best fill in the blank. Okay, all my videos are going viral. I have millions of subscribers. I'm making $100,000 a month, period. And don't waver from it. I don't care what you see. And that's part of the problem with you entrepreneurs out there, is with the fucking data. Data is your kryptonite. Okay, it seriously is, because you guys will look at the data and you guys will create so many false assumptions based on said data, right? You'll be like, well, they're only watching the first 3 seconds of my video, so my hook sucks. My hook sucks. I need a better hook. I just need a better hook. And then you go down this research cycle. Well, the problem with that is that your videos are going to continue to suck because you're telling yourself that, and you're telling yourself that you just need a better hook. So until you believe that you found that magical hook, your videos aren't going to perform, because that is your assumption that it's the hook. The data never fucking told you that, did it? No, it didn't. You're the one that is making the assumptions based on said data. You can't do that. Okay. Instead, you have to maintain your thoughts about that data. If you insist on looking at, if you cannot control your thoughts, then don't look at the data. Okay. But if you want to look at the data, you must control your thoughts. You must understand that your subconscious mind does not have eyes, so it cannot see what you're looking at. It can only go based on the thoughts that you tell yourself. So when you look at your bank account and you see 50 bucks staring back at you, and you start going down this fucking rabbit hole about how broke you are and how I really need to make money, and like, I can't go another month, that keeps it right there. Nothing changes, because your subconscious mind is like, oh, we're broke. Well, we must be broke, and it keeps it there. It doesn't matter how hard you fucking work. You're telling yourself you're broke. Does this make sense? So no matter what you see, and I literally mean no matter what you see, you need to discipline your mind. And you can only tell yourself what you want to see, not what you actually see. Period. I have clients that are literally getting sales calls booked out of nowhere, because that is what they're affirming. They're affirming that they get new clients out of thin air, and literally new clients are coming to them out of thin air, because that is what they're assuming. And when you tell yourself that enough, it creates the assumption and it shows up. This is where overnight success comes into play. It just took them a little while to figure it out. All they did was think they had to work hard, work hard, work hard. And when they said, I'm all fucking done with working hard, this is what happened to me. When you hit a point where you're like, I'm fucking done. This is it. I am done. I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm done researching, listening to fucking everybody, because where one person says this, the other person says the opposite. I don't know who to believe. I trust myself, right? I believe in myself, because that's the only thing you can believe in. And when you do that and you decide and you say, that's it, this is working now, I have this now, that is when it shows up. It's the certainty, the assurity is what shows up. So you need to create that certainty and that surety on what you want. Because right now, you're focused on everything you don't want and everything you don't have, which keeps it right here. It can't go anywhere. It's impossible for you to it's impossible for you to be broke and have rich thoughts, and for you to be rich and have broke thoughts. That doesn't go together. Okay. So if you take a look and you reverse engineer every single 7-figure entrepreneur, every industry guru out there, if you reverse engineer and say, what makes them different than me? Because they all have a story. They all have a story. They all started where you are, if not worse. Okay. But the only thing that separates them from you is their belief system about it. That's it. So you don't need another program, unless of course you want to work with me one-on-one, because I'm not about to sit here and tell you work hard and work hard and freaking work 25 hours a week. I'm not about to do any of that. Okay. Instead, my goal is for you to get everything that you want, to hit your income goals, to create financial freedom for your family, for you to create generational wealth, and all of that without sacrificing hours or your fucking hair color. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that for you. Instead, I want you to have everything that you want and to fully understand that the only key to success is you and your thoughts about it. That's it. That is literally it. That is it. So if your business isn't where you want it to be, just change your thoughts about it and be consistent, like you're consistent in working in your business. You need to be just as consistent and disciplined in your thoughts, because your thoughts is what's controlling your results 100% of the time. 100% of the time. I'm telling you, if you don't believe me, just think about it. Just think about it. Just think about if you had a great month, what were your thoughts about it? Therefore, you had a great month, right? And then when business was slow, what were your thoughts about that? You started questioning shit. You started doubting yourself, and therefore your results continue to reflect that. This is where unstable income comes into play. Okay, this is where inconsistent results come into play, because you're not inconsistent in your work, you're inconsistent in your thoughts about it. That's it. That's literally all it is. So if you want to be a 7-figure entrepreneur and you're serious, then you will discipline your mind. That's it. You will discipline your mind, and you will commit to only focusing on what you want, as if you already have it, and watch it show up. No additional effort required. All right. All right. So go ahead. I want you to save this video, and I really want you to go all in. I want you to create 2 to 3 affirmations that imply that you have exactly what you want and that you are that 7-figure entrepreneur. And I want you to go ahead and I want you to comment, and I want you to come back when you have manifested and seen movement towards those income goals and towards that success. I want you to come back and share your story with everybody else so that they can understand that they're in control of their entire results. Their business and everything is based on their thoughts. That's it. Okay. All right. I hope you found this video helpful. I know you did. So go ahead and give it a like, share, and a comment, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.